What's good, everybody? If you're here today to learn how you can have a sustainable business and those things that keep a business from being sustainable. Now, what that looks like is basically a business that lasts for decades, that you know can replace your 9-to-5 income and is safer than a 9-to-5 job, unlike most people tell you, and that allows you to live your life the way that you want to live it, meaning you get to, enjoy your retirement, meaning you get to have money coming in and know you can spend time with your family and your kids, and knowing that you can travel around the world remotely and not have to worry about clock into the office, and know that you'll have money coming in to do the things that you love to do. Now, if you're new to this channel, I'm Frazier, MBA, and on this channel, I'm here to help you get passive income and active freedom. So basically showing you how to have money coming in where you can still enjoy your time doing the things that you love to do. Now, if that sounds like something that you're interested in, make sure you subscribe to this channel, turn on notifications so you'll be notified when I drop new videos, and hit the thumbs up so that YouTube can show this video to more people that need this information. So let's go ahead and jump into one of the first foundational things that keep businesses from being sustainable. And that first thing is going to be consistency. So when it comes down to consistency, we all know what that is. That's basically being able to do the same thing, the same way, the same time, and just keeping that up for a long duration of time. Now, while this might be a simple concept to grasp, a lot of business owners don't do it, especially in the beginning stages of their business, and even once they've gotten further into their business, a year or two, maybe 3, 4, 5, they still haven't started to implement consistency into their businesses, and this is why most businesses fail in the beginning. For example, let's take a look at a lemonade stand, right? Because that's a simple thing to grasp. So a lemonade stand, you go to the lemonade stand and the little kids are out there, you go walk up to them, you pay for a cup of lemonade. It's hot outside, sometimes coming up on us now, but it's hot outside. You get your little cup of lemonade and then you get it. It tastes great. It tastes amazing. So, you go on about your business after you paid them the money and had your drink, and then you go back, a day or two later because, it's hot outside again. You see the lemonade stand and you want to go ahead and patronize them again. So you go ahead and pay for another cup. But this time when you pay for the cup, it's bitter. It's not really all that sweet. It tastes more like water than it tastes like lemonade. So, it's really not as good as it was the first time. So when you see that happen, now all of a sudden you're less likely to probably go back, or you might go back and give them another chance. Maybe so, maybe not. But ultimately, you didn't get the same experience that you got the first time. And now your trust is a little bit broken on what type of experience you're going to have going to that particular lemonade stand business. Now, that's a lemonade stand, but most people don't know or realize that are entrepreneurs, that customers that are coming to you, they're getting that same experience when they come to you for one thing and then they have to come back for another thing. Or let's say they send a friend to you and they said they had a good experience and then they come to you and they don't, or vice versa. All of those things cause problems. Now, let's take a look at Chick-fil-A. Everybody loves Chick-fil-A, right? So much so that we go there on Sundays when they end up being closed, and then we end up sad that we have to wait until the next day to get some. So one of the reasons that they're so good is because every time you pull up to Chick-fil-A, you always get the same experience. The food always tastes the same. If it's been different for you at any point in time, go ahead and drop something in the comments to let me know about that. But usually it's going to be pretty much the same every time. You're going to get the same pleasantness when you pull up in the drive-thru. Them saying it's my pleasure. Them giving you unlimited barbecue sauces or Chick-fil-A sauces. I don't know which one y'all like. I like the barbecue more. If you like the Chick-fil-A sauce versus the barbecue, whichever one is yours, drop that down in the comments too. You can tell I'm a little bit hungry on this video, but let's move past that. So anyway, because they're so consistent and consistently good, you want to consistently go there even on days when they're closed and you just have a craving for it. So that is the consistency that you want to have in your business, that's going to help bring more people to you, and it's going to keep your business more sustainable. Now, how do you get that consistency in your business? It's all tied down to systems and processes. Of course, systems are maybe different softwares that you have, different tools that you use connected together in order to make things happen in your business that need to happen, whether it be the delivery of your products or the delivery of your services or just how you manage your customers. So that's what the systems are going to be. As far as the processes, that may or may not include your systems, but basically it is basically a certain way of doing things every time you do them. And one way that I learned to implement this was through a system called Six Sigma. Now, this is something that I learned when I was getting my MBA, still working on it. I had a project management focus at first before I switched it over to finance. And with that project management focus that I was learning about, Six Sigma was one of the things that was very important within it. And Six Sigma is basically like a way of having the process done the same way every time in order to create consistency and make sure that everything is produced the same way, the same time. Now, if we apply that to the lemonade stand, where you got bitter lemonade one time and then you got a nice lemonade drink the first time, this is how you would implement that in a lemonade stand. Basically, you would make a good cup of lemonade, right? And then you would want to see how you made that good cup of lemonade. You would measure out how many how many lemons or how many scoops of lemonade powder you use. You would measure out how much sugar you used. You would measure out how much water you used in the combination. And you would want to see which combination made the perfect product. And then you would want to do that the same way every time you make a glass of lemonade, so you consistently have good lemonade. But now that's just a lemonade stand. How can we apply this on a grander scale? So if you look at your car, let's take that for example. Look at what kind of car you have. Imagine if the manufacturer of that car didn't have a consistent system or process for making the car. Everybody that got the car, some people's bumpers will be a little bit off. Some people might have some buttons on the dash and might not by accident. Some people's cars might be falling apart. And you really can't ensure safety and consistency in something that important if you don't have a system in place like a Six Sigma system. And the way that that would apply to the car, the way that they use this when they're manufacturing cars actually is, there's a product line where they take the shell of the car and they move it down the product line. And there are certain people at certain parts of the product line that they assemble those parts onto the car. Now, some of this is machine operated, some of this might be operated by a person, but basically, the machine is going to do the same thing the same way every time for the most part. And with the person, that's where it might come down to a little bit of something being done different here and there. So in order to cut down or increase the consistency rather in what happens at each part of the process, let's say putting on the doors of the car, they make sure to have the same person in place versus having different people in place for that process. Let's say, for example, taking a person from another side that does something different and having them to come in sometimes is more proficient, and it will give you more efficiency if you have the same person doing the same thing every time. Now, this is just for example's sake. Of course, they're going to have people switching out on different shifts because the person isn't going to be there 24/7. But the thing is, the goal is to have as many of the same people doing that same part of the process each time so that you can guarantee the consistency in that part of the process being done. And just looking at this concept, you can see how a lot of people might be losing their jobs due to AI, because AI can do something more consistently just like a machine could. And this is why some businesses will end up letting go of people, because they can cut down on their costs by having that consistency there, which is why it's very important for you to get business right in a sustainable business so that you cannot have to worry about your 9 to 5 and you can do your own thing, make your own money, and implement consistent processes in your business. Okay, so what's the best way to go ahead and start getting your consistent systems and processes in place? Before I get into that, let me let you know that if you're struggling to make money online currently, I want you guys to go down to the description and check out the 5 reasons you're struggling to make money online that I created. Download that for free, and it will give you some information on helping you to get more consistent in your business building and online revenue generation. So go ahead and check that out. It's in the description below. And also, if you guys have been enjoying the video so far, make sure you hit that thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Now, the way you want to start getting your systems and processes in place is going to be by documenting your flow. So when I'm talking about your flow, I'm talking about the way that things happen and the way that you usually do things in your business. So you don't want to say something different every time you talk to a new person on the phone. You don't want to have the process of intaking the person be different every time you have a person coming into your business, because that takes away from consistency. And I saw the same thing in my business when I was first getting started. I really didn't have the best way of going about having everybody to come in, and I quickly realized as I was learning the Six Sigma method while I was studying for my MBA that I had to do something to put a system in place to really help my business. And in order to do that and increase on the efficiency, what I did was I looked at how I like to intake customers. And of course, you could intake customers online from them buying on your site. You can have them calling in. You can have them walking in your door. But basically, you want to look at what's the point of entry that the first line of defense or the first thing that the customer is going to interact with. And then you want to see, okay, what can I put in place? What script can I have to say XYZ the same way, the same time, every time I talk to a person? What are the items that I'm going to need to give this person? What system do I need to send this person to every time they first interact with the business? Do I need to send them to an appointment calendar? Do I need to send them to a website or a landing page? You want to keep up with how you see people come in and how you want to have that interaction go with the customer so that you can get them everything they need, you can do everything you need to do, and you can make it a consistent process. And you want to look at everything that you do in business, from your sales to your marketing to how you manage your customers, how you do your customer intake. You want to look at all of these different things. You want to come up with what is the best flow that you want to have and what do you need to have in place in order to make that possible. Document this, and this will make things even better when you're growing your business and starting to hire people or automating things too, because these systems being written down and processes written down, this will help you to already have something in place to know what to do. So that is what you want to do to start getting those systems and processes in place. And again, to summarize what we went over today, you want to be consistent, because consistency is what will help make your business sustainable. In order to be consistent, you need to put systems and processes in place using something like Six Sigma to try to make sure that everything is done the same way, the same time, all the time. And then you want to take a look at the flow of how your business goes, and you want to document that flow in every part of your business so that you can make sure that you know what you need to be doing and have all that stuff in place. And then of course you want to put that on autopilot at some point so that you can get to the next stage of business as well. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know any questions that you have about this or anything else in business down in the comments, and make sure you check out the next video so that you can get some more business growth and development tips.